Unmasked is a story based on my personal experience with psychosis in 2014. So at the time, my perceived reality was that I was a patient involved in this huge psychological experiment that was going on in Saskatoon. So doctors and researchers were trying to figure out whether or not mental illness could be cured through the power of suggestion and with placebo pills in a controlled environment. So the controlled environment was Saskatoon. And I don't know if you're familiar with The Truman Show, but starring Jim Carrey, but basically that's what life felt like at the time when I had psychosis. Although my experience with psychosis was one of the scariest experiences I've ever had, it was also really uplifting, which is, I know, is odd, but largely that had to do with my experience connecting with people when I was in the hospital and feeling a sense of belonging and community and normalcy, which I didn't feel in the actual world during that time. And having these connections with people, ultimately I was able to find hope. I'm excited to share this show for a few reasons. Firstly, I think that mental health is so important, and although there's been a lot of awareness and advocacy surrounding mental illness, I think there's so much we can do still to eliminate the stigma that comes with it. And I'm not saying that my show will necessarily be able to eliminate the stigma, but I hope that people seeing the show will at least be able to understand what it feels like to be living with mental illness, if you haven't, and for those who have experienced mental illness or are living with mental illness, to be able to know that you're never alone and that there is hope. Yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been a lot of fun. Creating, it's also been challenging. For example, I guess in the beginning, I was thinking that this piece was going to be very physical and movement-based, which it still is going to be, but I didn't want to use a whole lot of text, and I'm not, writing is not my strength, and so I was like, no, I don't want to write. But recently I've been writing more and I've been getting more excited about it, and I think that it's really important to have a script and develop it so that way there's something to anchor the story in.